the heart of sub-Saharan Africa, where commerce meets progress. Welcome to Souq News, your source for business, economy, and development insight that drive nations forward. From the vibrant streets of Lagos, Africa's fastest economic hub, Souq News takes you on a journey of discovery, analyzing and reporting the facts that lay the foundation for growth and development. We don't just report the news, we create it. Souq News is more than a channel. It is a catalyst for change, spotlighting the stories that shape economies, inspire entrepreneurs, and fuel progress. Covering business, finance, technology, energy, and many more, Souq News provides a daily deep dive into the stories that matter, interviews with industry titans, and analysis that empowers your understanding of economic landscape. Join us daily as we dissect, discuss, and deliver the most relevant and factual news on business and the economy. Souq News is your trusted guide, empowering you with the knowledge to make informed decisions. In the heart of sub-Saharan Africa, where commerce meets progress. Welcome to Souq News, your source for business, economy, and development insight that drive nations forward. From the vibrant streets of Lagos, Africa's fastest economic hub, Souq News takes you on a journey of discovery, analyzing and reporting the facts that lay the foundation for growth and development. We don't just report the news, we create it. Souq News is more than a channel. It is a catalyst for change, spotlighting the stories that shape economies, inspire entrepreneurs, and fuel progress. Covering business, finance, technology, energy, and many more, Souq News provides a daily deep dive into the stories that matter, interviews with industry titans, and analysis that empowers your understanding of economic landscape. Join us daily as we dissect, discuss, and deliver the most relevant and factual news on business and the economy. Souq News is your trusted guide, empowering you with the knowledge to make informed decisions.
My name is Yinka Babalola.
My name is Ijoma Pelokoro.
My name is Joshua Hassan.
I am Rotarian or Mosunde Lawson.
It's Ife Yunwarita Ejeze. My friends call me Ife.
My name is Rotarian Lola Dare.
I'm inviting you to keep watching Souq News. It's the right station to tune to.
I like Souq News. Souq News is good.
I want to charge you all to listen to Souq News, watch the news.
You can have unlimited news first time.
Find Souq News. Be with Souq News. Never switch off. You are better for it. Souq News is the real thing.
Listen to their coverage and you'll be glad you did.
Turn to your YouTube Turn to your Instagram, turn to all your digital channels and look for Souq News.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Please, guys, keep watching.
Souq News.
The heart of sub-Saharan Africa, where commerce meets progress. Welcome to Souq News, your source for business, economy, and development insight that drive nations forward. From the vibrant streets of Lagos, Africa's fastest economic hub, Souq News takes you on a journey of discovery, analyzing and reporting the facts that lay the foundation for growth and development. We don't just report the news, we create it. Souq News is more than a channel. It is a catalyst for change, spotlighting the stories that shape economies, inspire entrepreneurs, and fuel progress. Covering business, finance, technology, energy, and many more, Souq News provides a daily deep dive into the stories that matter, interviews with industry titans, and analysis that empowers your understanding of economic landscape. Join us daily as we dissect, discuss, and deliver the most relevant and factual news on business and the economy. Souq News is your trusted guide, empowering you with the knowledge to make informed decisions.
My name is Dr. Ajili Tobi.
My name is Etemari Glover. Naomi.
Well done, and shout out to Souq News.
Shout out to Souq News. I want to encourage everyone to keep watching Souq News.
Shout out to Souq News, and yes, tune into them.
Keep watching Souq News. They are one in town.
Hey, we're watching Souq News.
Keep watching Souq News.
Keep watching Souq News. Catch them on YouTube and all social media channels.
Hey, my name is Frank Edowo, and I'm imploring you. No, forget that. I am forcing you, coercing you to always stay tuned to Souq News for your news requirements.
Midweek, and you are welcome to News Hour on Souq News, where we'll bring you news stories from Nigeria and across the world. In the news, President Tinubu to commission Red Line rail system in Lagos. Nigeria Central Bank hikes interest rates to curb inflation. World Health Organization trains healthcare workers in northeast Nigeria. Qatar to invest $10.85 billion in French startups. Vodafone plans $5.43 billion capital raise for 5G network expansion. System in Lagos, making the state the first sub-national government to have two intra-city train systems. The 37-kilometer line, which is divided into two phases, will have the first phase run from Agbado to Oyingbo, with stacking yards at both ends. That is Agbado and Oyingbo. It has 7 train stations. The stations are at Oyingbo, Mushin, Ikeja, Fagba, and Agbado, while the second phase will run from Oyingbo to the National Theatre on an elevated platform. The Blue Line had earlier been delivered last year. There are also plans for the Green Line and Brown Line, Purple Line, and Yellow Line to be delivered. Moving ahead, amidst in a move to curb inflation and stabilize the economy, the Central Bank of Nigeria has raised the monetary policy rate NPR by 400 basis points, reaching an unprecedented 22.75%. This adjustment, announced by CBN Governor Yemi Cardoso, is away from the previous rate of 18.75% held since last Monetary Policy Committee meeting in July 2023. The decision revealed the bank's approach to monetary tightening in response to economic pressures. Alongside the NPR hike, the bank has increased the cash reserve ratio, CRR, to 45%, up from 32.5%, while maintaining the liquidity ratio at 30%. This move reflects the bank's commitment to tackling inflationary pressures and fostering a stable economic environment, crucial for sustainable growth. Additionally, the bank's transition to an inflation targeting framework aims to ensure long-term price stability with recognition of the essential role of fiscal support in achieving economic stability. Moving on, as part of efforts to enhance revenue generation and employment opportunities for Nigerians and foreign companies operating within the country, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has officially launched the Expatriate Employment Levy Initiative by the Federal Ministry of Interior. The program, which will also bridge wage disparities between expatriates and local workers, was launched at the State House Council Chambers in Abuja. Minister of Interior Olubomi Tunji Ojo disclosed this via his official social media account, highlighting the project's implementation through the Public-Private Partnership PPR model, with the Nigerian Immigration Service NIS as the implementing agency. The minister emphasized the initiative's goal to boost government revenue, promote nationalization, increase job prospects for Nigerians, achieve employment parity, narrow wage gaps, and facilitate knowledge transfer to economic growth. And still in Nigeria, the Nigerian Customs Service and the Directorate General Taxation and Customs Union of the European Union (EU) have resolved to streamline trade processes, enhance export oversight, and improve documentation procedures within Nigeria. This collaboration, announced by the Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, followed discussions with the Directorate General Taxation and Customs Union's officials in Abuja. Adeniyi emphasized the partnership's significance in light of the customs quest for a robust digital platform to validate documentation effectively, and expressed optimism about the potential of this alliance to unlock new economic opportunities for registered exporters in broader regions. Additionally, Adeniyi stressed the importance of establishing a framework between the two agencies to verify and validate exported goods efficiently to expedite clearance processes and minimize bureaucratic delays at ports. And in another development, the National Bureau of Statistics says average fare for intercity bus trips in Nigeria surged by 89.50% year-on-year to 7,577.03 naira compared to 3,998.42 naira in January 2023. The month-on-month increase was 2.36%, rising from 7,402.16 naira in December 2023. Anambra had the highest peak fare at 10,500 naira, while Kwara offered the most affordable fare at 5,900 naira across geopolitical zones. The South-South region recorded the highest average fare at 8,283.33 naira, a significant 111.18% increase from January 2023. The South-East and North-Central zones followed at 8,040 naira and 7,121.43 naira respectively. The Northwest, Northeast, and Southwest zone also experienced notable fare increase. 12 years after the Stephen Orosaye's report, the federal government on Monday approved the implementation of some of its recommendations to reduce the cost of governance. Consequently, 29 government agencies will be merged, even as 8 parastatals will be submerged into 8 other agencies. Israel Adeyemi completes this report.
Reactions trailed the recent directive given by Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the full implementation of Orosanye's report at the last Federal Executive Council meeting held on Monday, 26th of February 2024. The report, submitted 12 years ago, aims to merge, subsume, and scrap various government entities with overlapping functions to create a leaner and more effective government structures, as well as reduce the cost of governance while streamlining government operations. During a briefing with newsmen after the meeting, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, shared the following information.
What that means is that a number of agencies, commissions, and some departments have actually been scrapped. Some have been merged, while others have been subsumed.
Similarly, Special Advisor to the President on Policy Coordination, Adisa Bala Usman, spoke to some agencies that would be merged.
National Agency for Control of AIDS, HIV/AIDS, NACA, to be merged with the Center for Disease Control in the Federal Ministry of Health. National Emergency Management Agency to be merged with the National Commission for Refugee Migration and Internally Displaced Persons.
Notably among these are the scrapping of agencies like the Pension Commission, with their full functions transferred to other ministries. Additionally, various agencies are slated for mergers, such as the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, merging under the Center for Disease Control. Several others, including the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission and the National Institute for Leather Science Technology, are to be merged with relevant counterparts. Furthermore, certain agencies like the Niger Delta Power Holding Company and the National Blood Service Commission are said to be relocated to different ministries for more effective operations. While others argued that cutting costs should be first implemented at the executive arm of government, some are of the opinion that it is long overdue. Speaking on Souq News flagship program, an associate of the Institute of Banker, Oji Chigozie, noted the significance of the implementation even as the country is faced with different economic challenges.
And all of that. It has become very imperative and very compulsory, by the way. So, well, we thank God that the president has taken the bold step to, get this done. He's been waiting, for us to do in the past decade or more than that. And we can't afford to not do it at this point. Nigeria at this point, some people don't understand the data and the figures we're looking at. We're still calling, proposing a budget of 25 trillion and all of that. But Nigeria has not raised more than 10 trillion ever in our whole life. And this year, the actual estimate I'm making is around 7 to 8 trillion naira as revenue. And we plan to spend 25 trillion. That's impossible. So we're going to be running a very huge deficit budget in the next few years. Meanwhile, the debt we're owing already, is more than stifling the country. Currently, our debt service to revenue ratio is almost 90%, meaning that if Nigeria earns 100 naira today, we spend 90 naira trying to service our debt.
While citing political patronage as one of the reasons for the creation of new ministries, parastatals, and agencies, he advised prudent spending of government finances.
So we need a government that will come down our high horse, initiate some kind of austere measures that will make us spend less, and even what we spend, make sure we get value for it. For example, a contract is awarded to buy a computer, and you're buying the computer for 100 million. One computer, they will tell you, even if you want to install Word, app or whatever in it, it can't cost that. But that's what we see in every level of government in this country. An item that you can get for 1 million, somebody budgets 100 million for it, and it's approved by either the House of Rep at national level or House of Assembly at the state level. Well, which country can survive that way?
Speaking on the implementation process of this report, Oji made his opinion known.
About management, how the process is managed. We have a Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have ministers of government. We have other levels of authorities in executing this mandate. If a leader is upright and righteous and impartial in the way they appoint people, in the way they elevate people, in the way they give assignments, then quarrels and conflicts will be minimized. However, in any institution, whether private or public, there will always be conflicts. Conflicts are normal in human dynamics and relationships. So, but to minimize conflict, you must assign people to their areas of competence. You must give people roles that are qualified to manage. And we must begin to, even though we try to satisfy the federal character thing, but you must do that correctly. As much as you want every part of the country to feel included, you must also look at the competence. Let every state give us their best people, personnel. Not those who belong to APC or PDP or Labour Party or other parties. Party loyalty might play some part. That's the reality of life. But if you combine that with, even in parties, there are also competent people. So find them. So recruitment is going to be a big issue here. Not just fresh people, but recruiting within the agencies the right person to the right position. If you do that, and you do that impartially, complaints will still be there, but won't be as much.
Nigeria and the entire world await the full implementation of this report within the next 12 weeks. Israel Adeyemi, Souq News.
Thank you, Israel, for that report. And in stock, despite minor fluctuations, the Nigerian Stock Exchange (NSE) has maintained resilience, showcasing a steady performance amidst prevailing market dynamics. While the NJX All Shares Index experienced a modest decline of 1,412.16 points, closing at 100,582.89 points, the market remained robust, reflecting stability in investor sentiment. Although market capitalization dipped slightly by 773 billion naira, settling at 55.04 trillion naira, this adjustment was within expected ranges, indicating a healthy correction. Noteworthy is the strength exhibited by diverse sectors, with selected stocks recording impressive gains. Despite sporadic declines in some banking sectors like FBN Holdings, Zenith Bank, and GT Co., overall market sentiment remained positive, boosted by resilient performances from key players like Airtel Afri, Boa Cement, Boa Food, Dangote Cement, Geregu, Seplat, and Transcohort. Moving ahead, the Nigerian government, through the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, has disclosed that it would establish over 24 skills and innovation centers across the country. The country's Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, stated this in Abuja when he paid a visit to Innovate Hub along with critical stakeholders, including the Executive Secretary of TED Fund, Sonny Echono. According to a statement released by the fund, according to him, TED Fund is currently partnering with Innovate Hub for practical training and mentorship for Nigerian youths and academics to produce employable graduates and boost research. The Director General of the World Trade Organization, WTO, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has said that the world is yet to fully appreciate the economic value of sports, which potential she described as enormous. She was of the view that African countries would make better use of the sports sector from economic benefits, adding that sport holds the solution to some of the continent's problems. Speaking at the 13th World Trade Organization Ministerial Conference in Abu Dhabi, Dr. Okonjo-Iweala stated sport is an exciting potential for Africa but had not really been tapped, as 70% of the income was generated in Europe and that this must be exported to other regions. She remarked that something must be done to get this back into Africa. And we move to northeastern part of Nigeria, where the World Health Organization, WHO, initiated a comprehensive intervention to enhance tuberculosis control in Borno State, northeast Nigeria, by training 60 tuberculosis and leprosy control program officers. World Health Organization State Coordinator Dr. Ibrahim Salisu leads the 10-day capacity building workshop. Salisu stressed the global concern over tuberculosis affected by the humanitarian crisis in the region, necessitating concerted efforts to expand case detection and treatment. Assuring technical support and resources, Salisu urged participants to prioritize in training. Borno State Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Professor Baba Malum Ghana, noted the 438 health facilities providing TB services and emphasized the importance of community reporting of suspected cases. In response, participants expressed readiness to disseminate knowledge gained to other frontline health workers, underscoring the workshop's timeliness and significance. Nigeria's Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperikpe Ekpo, has given an assurance that the Obricom, Obiafo, and Oben OB3 gas pipeline projects will be completed by March 2024. He gave this assurance during an opening session of the 7th Nigerian International Energy Summit, NIES 2024, in Abuja, adding that this pipeline project serves as a crucial link to the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline playing. The prolonged delay in completing the gas pipeline project has significantly impacted Nigeria's energy infrastructure and economic development. Initially expected to be finished by the second quarter of 2019, adverse weather conditions, including heavy rains and flooding, disrupted construction progress as early as August 2018. Subsequent challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic and alterations in contracting agreements further expanded the project's timeline, stretching over nearly 8 years. Still in Nigeria, the Nigerian Customs Service NCS Apapa Command said yesterday that it had generated over 16 billion naira revenue. This figure is the highest daily revenue collection in the history of the command, surpassing over 11 billion naira collected on November 2023 and 10 billion naira on August 3, 2023. Its area controller, Babajide Jayoba, described the feat as one of the expected fallouts of the many strategies he had put in place, and urged officers and men of the command to keep up the tempo of zero tolerance for infractions and non-compromise for any violation of the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023. This, he said, was a laudable revenue collection in the face of declined volume of trade, and that it was achieved as a result of weekly strategic meeting. And now we take a break and return to more stories. Please stay.
Idumota Market. Eko Idumota, once a residential neighborhood, is home to Idumota Market located on Lagos Island. It is one of the oldest and arguably one of the largest markets in West Africa. Idumota is a historic neighborhood adjacent to the Lagos port that facilitated the slave trade, and later, under the British indirect rule, it surrounded to exports that fueled the colonial enterprise. Idumota was also the location of an Armed Forces Remembrance Cenotaph called Soja Idumota, built as a monument to Nigerian soldiers who served with the West African Frontier Force. An Eyo Masquerade statue and a clock tower are also some monuments at Idumota. Idumota Market is so popular that large sales are recorded as early as 7 a.m. The market is made up of hundreds of locked-up shops occupying several multi-story buildings, with some measuring about 5 or more floors. In 2010, the Lagos State government demolished some illegal structures in order to improve vehicular and human movement in and around the markets. During weekdays, the neighborhood of Idumota is densely populated by shoppers, traders, and bus passengers. From the Carter Bridge ascending into Lagos Island, passengers can see the neighborhood before disembarking at their final destination. Idumota Market accommodates the substantial inflow of imported goods. The bulk of import from abroad are routed first through Idumota and then on to other markets through Nigeria and other West and Central African countries. The energy of private Idumota traders and wholesalers facilitate this activity, where millions of US dollars worth of wholesale is exchanged daily. Idumota Market, Souq Enlightenment.
My name is Dr. Agility Obi.
My name is Temari Glover.
Naomi, well done, and shout out to Souq News.
Shout out to Souq News. I want to encourage everyone to keep watching Souq News.
Shout out to Souq News, and yes, tune into them.
Keep watching Souq News. They are one in town.
Hey, we're watching Souq News.
Keep watching Souq News.
Keep watching Souq News. Catch them on YouTube and all social media channels.
Hey, my name is Frank Edowo, and I'm imploring you. No, forget that. I am forcing you, coercing you to always stay tuned to Souq News for your news requirements.
Welcome back, and glad to know you are still with us. And now we take stories away from Nigeria. Senegal's National Dialogue Commission has announced a proposal to delay the presidential election until June 2nd, suggesting President Macky Sall remain in office until his successor is sworn in. The proposal comes amid a political crisis triggered by Sall's initial postponement of the election from February 25. Following 2 days of dialogue to ease tensions, the Commission recommended the new date, awaiting Sall's final decision. The opposition boycotting the talks demands an earlier vote before Sall's mandate expires on April 2nd. The Commission cited June as the most feasible time frame due to religious festival in May. How the opposition will react remains uncertain, having previously successfully challenged the original postponement. Earlier today, South Africa's rand edged lower, likely to follow the dollar's movement due to the absence of significant economic data releases. The rand was trading at 19.1675 against the dollar, showing a 0.14% decline from its previous close, while the dollar index recorded a 0.16% increase against a basket of currencies. Typically, the rand, along with other emerging market currencies, responds to the dollar's fluctuation when domestic indicators are lacking. South African investors are anticipating several economic data released tomorrow, including money supply, producer price inflation, trade, and budget balance figures. Meanwhile, in earlier stock market trading, the top 40 index was down 0.6%, and the broader oil shale index showed a 0.5% decline. Additionally, South Africa's benchmark 2030 government bond experienced weakness, with the yield rising by 2 basis points to 10.20%. Still in South Africa, South African fashion retailer Woolworths has disclosed a 7.5% decline in half-year earnings due to reduced discretionary spending by consumers and ongoing energy and logistic challenges in the country. Headline earnings per share from continuing operations dropped to 203.3 cents in the 26 weeks ending December 24 from 219.9 cents a year earlier, while total operations saw a 31% decrease in headline earnings per share. Despite this, group turnover and concession sales from continuing operations increased by 5.4% to $1.99 billion, with a 4.4% rise in constant currency terms. Profit before tax fell by 14.2% to $2.5 billion. The fashion house attributed the results to a challenging macroeconomic environment marked by interest rate hikes and rising living costs, impacting consumer footfall and discretionary spending in both South Africa and Australia. Also, power cuts, port congestion, and the avian flu's effect on food product availability disrupted business operations in South Africa. And still in South Africa, South Africa's takeover panel has mandated French media company Group Canal Plus SA to promptly issue a mandatory offer of purchase shares of pay TV firm MultiChoice Canal Plus. The majority stakeholder recently proposed acquiring the remaining shares of the company, holding a 31.67% stake initially, which rose to 35.01%, surpassing the 35% threshold, triggering a mandatory offer. Despite MultiChoice's board rejecting Canal Plus's offer of 105 rand per share, deeming it undervalued, the takeover regulation panel stipulated Canal Plus's obligation to comply with Companies Act regulations. Moving ahead, Ivory Coast is one of the top cashew producers worldwide with a 24% market shares of global raw cashew nut production. Output of processed nuts is significantly low, with less than 10% of nuts undergoing value addition domestically. The country's cashew nut production has increased considerably over recent years, surpassing India for the first time in 2015 and becoming world's largest cashew producer that year. Israel Adeyemi has more.
Cashew nuts, ranked among Ivory Coast top cash crops, play a crucial role in the country's economy, generating substantial revenue and supporting livelihoods across the country. As the world's leading exporter of raw cashew nuts, Ivory Coast contributes an estimated $800 million annually to its economy and also serves as a vital source of income for over 410,000 families, particularly in rural areas where few other opportunities exist. Cashew trees flourish in Ivory Coast northern regions, including Bondukau and Savannah, known for its high-quality nuts and extensive plantations, just as Worondogu and Bagwe in the North Central and Northwest are also emerging as key producers. These regions not only drive Ivory Coast cashew production, but also support local livelihoods and economic growth. However, the country with over 29 million citizens is yet to fully realize the potential of its cashew industry. Despite being the top producer, the country processes only 7% of its cashew domestically, resulting in lost opportunities for value addition and job creation. Specifically, a recent data reveals that only 22% of the country's cashew nut output was processed domestically in 2023, even as the volatility of global cashew prices poses risks to farmers' income and overall economic stability. Concerns also arise regarding labor practices in some cashew farms and the environmental impact of deforestation for new plantations. To address these challenges and maximize the benefit of its cashew industry, Ivory Coast must focus on key strategies moving forward. These include investing in local processing facilities to boost job creation, export value, and farmers' incomes. Furthermore, the Ivorian government body overseeing the cashew sector, ARECA, must promote fair trade practices and ethical sourcing to ensure better prices for farmers and improve working conditions. Sustainable farming practices will also help to protect the environment and ensure long-term cashew production. According to a recommendation made at a workshop organized by the World Bank, tax exemptions and access to credit facilities will help to tackle some of these challenges. Furthermore, the private sector can also invest in research to develop high-yielding cashew varieties, improve processing techniques, explore new cashew products, as well as develop and implement digital platforms that connect farmers to market in order to facilitate financial transactions. Organizations like the Africa Cashew Initiative, ACI, must also assist in data compilation in the value chain at macro, meso, and micro level. By addressing this and harnessing its cashew potential, the country can further enhance its economy and build a more sustainable future for its citizens. Israel Adeyemi, reporting for Souq News.
Thank you for that report, Israel Adeyemi. And away from Africa, France and Qatar have solidified a strategic partnership, with Qatar committing to inject $10.85 billion into French startups and investment fund from 2024 to 2030. According to an announcement made by the French government, the investment aimed to benefit both nations while target vital sectors including energy transition, semiconductor, aerospace, artificial intelligence, digital, health, hospitality, and culture. This significant investment agreement coincides with the two-day state visit of Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Qatar's ruling emir, to France, marking his first official visit to the country since ascending to the throne in 2023. And still in the Middle East, Israel's Parliamentary Finance Committee has approved a proposal to increase the budget deficit target for 2024 to 6.6% of gross domestic product, up from the planned 2.25%, attributing the rise to heightened spending to support the ongoing conflict against Palestinian Islamist group Hamas. The increased deficit target, amounting to approximately $19 billion, aims to cover the additional expenses incurred due to the conflict. This decision follows Israel's prior approval of an amended 2024 state budget, reflecting adjustment to accommodate the financial impact of the ongoing conflict. And now, Hong Kong has announced measures to revitalize its real estate market by abolishing or tightening measures for residential properties, aiming to bolster the city's economy, projected to grow at a modest 2.5% to 3.5% this year. Financial Secretary Paul Chan disclosed to lawmakers during his annual budget address that the financial hub would eliminate all additional stamp duties on transactions imposed over the past decade to stimulate the sluggish real estate sector. Highlighting challenges such as high interest rates, geopolitical complexities, and escalating recent budget deficits, Chan unveiled a range of measures across property, tourism, and financial services sector to attract capital, businesses, and visitors back to the city and restore fiscal equilibrium. Specifically addressing the property sector, which has traditionally been a cornerstone of the economy, Chan announced the immediate elimination of all demand-side management measures for residential properties, citing their redundancy in the prevailing economic and market conditions. In another development, Indian Defense Secretary Giriha Araman and Germany Ministry of Defense State Secretary Benedikt Zimmer had met to discuss ways to strengthen defense cooperation as a fundamental aspect of the strategic partnership between the two nations. The Indian-Germany High Defense Commission meeting held in Berlin also featured discussion on various topics, including regional secretary, potential defense industry projects, and proposal to enhance collaboration. Emphasizing necessity of a closer defense partnership, both sides explored opportunities for joint exercises in the Indo-Pacific and emphasized collaboration in high technology within the defense sector, highlighting the significance of connecting defense industries from both countries. And in China, China National Petroleum Corp, CNPC, says the country's aviation fuel demand is poised to surge by 13.1% in 2024 due to a resurgence in passenger travel. Despite this, crude oil imports are anticipated to remain stagnant. CNPC's Economic and Technology Research Institute projects aviation fuel consumption to reach 39.3 million metric tons this year, with crude oil imported hovering around 565 million metric tons. Kerosene demand is expected to escalate, fueled by the gradual recovery of international air travel post-COVID. However, diesel usage is forecasted to decline by 2.8%, while gasoline consumption may see a modest 1.3% increase. Japanese electronic company Sony has announced that it will be cutting approximately 900 jobs at its PlayStation unit and closing a studio in London, citing ongoing struggles in the video game industry post-pandemic. The layoff, affecting about 8% of the Vision workforce globally, follows Sony's recent reduction in annual sales expectation for its PlayStation 5 console. Sony's gaming chief, Jim Ryan, attributed the decision to changes in the industry development, distribution, and product launch strategies. The move aligns Sony with industry trends, as competitors like Microsoft and Riot Games have also implemented significant layoffs amidst a sluggish gaming market recovery. Despite a marginal growth of 0.6% in the global video game market last year, reaching $184 billion, Sony anticipates a gradual decline in PlayStation 5 unit sales from the next fiscal year, with no major franchise title planned for release. And now let's take a report on evolution of media navigating the digital world for sustainable growth by Fortune Ugoma. Didn't go.
In the world of modern media, the advent of digital platforms, mobile accessibility, and social media integration has brought about profound changes in how news content is produced and consumed. Traditional media outlets, including newspapers and electronic media, are faced with this reality. Hence, they need to get acquainted with the new digital models in order not to face decline and stagnant operations. One of the key challenges in the digital shift lies in the intense competition for attention. With excess of content available across various platforms, media organizations are under pressure to innovate and develop creative strategies to engage audience effectively. The need to capture and retain viewers' interest has become paramount in an environment characterized by fleeting attention spans. At the forefront of the digital transformation are large technology companies which play important roles in facilitating the distribution of news and digital advertising. With billions of users worldwide, this platform wields significant influence over how individuals access and interact with digital media, thereby reshaping the dynamic of media markets. The dominance of major players and market consolidation raise concerns about diversity of content production, especially in smaller markets and niche areas. Media organizations must strategically adapt to changing consumer behavior and explore innovative business models. Prioritizing quality journalism, transparency, and audience trust are crucial for sustaining a viable media avenues for growth and innovation in the digital ecosystem, with immense promises for media organizations willing to embrace change and seize opportunity. Fortune Ugoma, Souq News.
Thank you, Fortune, for that report. As part of effort aimed at bolstering its financial position for the rollout of its 5G network service and expansion of 4G coverage, India's Vodafone has announced its intention to raise approximately $5.43 billion through a combination of equity and debt. The equity fundraising, amounting to 200 billion rupees and approved by the board, will involve participation from promoters or significant shareholders. The telecom company, currently India's third largest by subscriber count, is in discussions with lenders to finalize the debt funding. While analysts express some skepticism about the equity portion covered by promoters, the planned capital infusion aligns with expectation and could enhance Vodafone Idea's competitiveness against larger rivals. And finally, Google CEO Sundar Pichai has informed employees that the company is actively addressing concerns regarding biases and unacceptable responses generated by its Gemini AI tool. Following a pause in the tool's usage due to inaccuracies in historical deposition, Pichai acknowledged offending responses and biases issues. He reassured employees that teams are working diligently to rectify these issues, with noticeable improvement already underway. He pledged a comprehensive review and scalability in fixing the problems, aiming to relaunch Gemini AI in the coming weeks. This development follows reports by the new website Semaphore, later confirmed by a Google spokesperson. Since the introduction of Microsoft-backed OpenAI ChatGPT in November 2022, Google has been competing to develop its own AI software. Notably, Google released the generative AI chatbot Bard a year ago, subsequently rebranding it as Gemini and offering paid subscription plans for enhanced reason and capabilities from the AI model. Before we call it a wrap on News Hour today, once again, here are the major highlights. President Tinubu to commission Red Line rail system in Lagos. Nigeria Central Bank hikes interest rate to 22.75%, curbs inflation. WHO trains healthcare workers in northeast Nigeria to enhance tuberculosis control. Qatar to invest $10.85 billion in French startups. Vodafone Idea plans $5.43 billion capital raise for 5G network expansion. Remember to follow and engage on all our various social media platforms at Souq News. We love to hear from you. And on behalf of all news team, I am Grace Komalafe. Many thanks for watching.